Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be using the Spellbinders April 2019 card kit for my 10 cards 1 kit. I'm also going to sneak in a couple of cards using the small and large die of the month, which I'll show you here in a sec. So I'm just going to kind of quickly run through the kit and just kind of show you. I already put together the dress using some scraps just to see, and it's actually really easy. We're going to make a couple cards using the dress. It comes with a lot of really beautiful stuff. This is a bag, like a gift card holder that you can decorate like a bag, but we are going to use it on a card. So I did put that together as well. And this is the small die. I love these flowers. So I did put them together, but we're going to do our own now that I know how it goes together. So sometimes it can be a little bit confusing when you get the dies and you're not really sure what goes with what, but you'll see. Love all the elements of this kit. The paper is beautiful, the colors are perfect, the sentiments in the stamp set are perfect. This could be really good birthday, congratulations, bridal shower, Mother's Day. I also already sketched out all of my designs for all 10 of my cards. It's what I do at work when I have my downtime. So let's get started with card number 1. And for card number 1, I'm going to use one of the ephemera pieces, and it's just the sentiment Wonderful Day. I'm also going to use the cake. And again, here's all my dies. I show you the dies. I always use the same ones. The stitch rectangle, I have stitch square, stitch circle. Those are pretty much my go-to dies that I use pretty much on all of my cards. And I'm just going to start by adhering down my base, and that's the like kind of pinky peach color that came in the kit. And then I'm going to use the black and white striped paper. I'm also going to be using the mirror cardstock that came in this kit a lot. So this white panel here is just backed on some of the silver mirror cardstock. And we're going to pop that up right in the middle. We're also going to pop up the sentiment at the bottom. And then the cake it's like a puffy sticker, and it's super easy to color, so I decided to color it in with my zigs, and I just kind of matched up the zigs with the paper in the pack, just kind of pick some colors that I thought would go together. You totally don't even have to color this in. You'll see with the flower, because I used the flower on another card, I don't even color it and it still looks awesome. So just going to kind of quickly go through and color in all of my elements. I also use that little tiny bow at the bottom, which I'll also color in using the darkest of my pinks. And then I just kind of dabbed over it with a paper towel because I thought it might still be wet, but it wasn't. It dried like almost instantly. And now we're going to pop up our cake right in the middle of our panel. And for some finishing touches, I'm going to use let me get them right here so I can read them to you. It's the White Blizzard glitter drops. I use those in the center of the flowers. And then for all of the silver drops that I use in this card kit, it's called Silver Lining, and those are the crystal drops. So when you see me using those are the drops that I'm using on all of my cards. So on to card number 2, I'm going to use a piece of the ephemera, the hello with the cute little bird on it, again with the silver mirrored cardstock, and this is another piece of the pink. And I love that paper right there. That was a real light gray and light pink pattern paper, and I use it a lot in this card kit because I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I backed that up onto a piece of the gray that came in the kit as well, and I'm going to pop up this little bird here off to the side. This is just a simple quick card. Some of these cards get a lot more intricate, so it was nice to have a couple of quick ones in there. I'm just going to pop up the love underneath the hello, so it says hello love, and then these are the silver sequins that came in the kit, and I'm just going to kind of place a couple of them around, scatter them around my focal point. These sequins are super shiny. I wish that there were a few more of the tiny ones in there because the big ones kind of scare me, but I think I used all of them, and that will complete card number 2. Another quick card. For card number 3, it's another one that thankfully isn't as long as some of my other ones, but this was one of the, I don't even know what it's called, but I think it's like a a panel. It came in with the same packet with the tags, and I wanted to use it as a piece of my focal point in the middle, my cardstock, and so I just cut it out with the stitch rectangle die because I didn't want the whole piece. I just wanted that part of it so it would fit on my card. And then I just grabbed one of the tags that also came in the kit and some silver and white baker's twine, which I made into a little bow. And then there's the other flower, and I did not color that one in, I just left it black and white. And then I kind of framed it with some of the silver and white leaves that also came in the ephemera pack. Just to kind of, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with all the leaves, so this was just me just kind of figuring out where I wanted to put stuff and which cards I wanted to use. So when I get my pack, I kind of go through and group things, try to figure out what I think will look good together on a card. And so these leaves and that flower and all that was kind of in the same pile, so I wanted to use it all together. I'm going to pop up my last little leaf, kind of put it like right underneath the flower. And I think I'm going to put, yep, one of the silver stars up on the tag. And then I'm going to use the silver lining drops in my flower and around the card, like little accents around the card. And that should complete this card. Simple but beautiful. This silver mirrored cardstock really is kind of the showstopper. So for card number 4, I'm going to use the dress. And now I'm starting to use up my scraps because this is another paper that I used a lot and I really liked, and it's the white, and it almost reminds me of chicken wire kind of look, but elegant chicken wire, if there is such a thing. So now I'm just kind of figuring out where I'm going to put all of my little scraps together to make it look like they're not scraps. So I'm going to attach the mirror cardstock to the pink floral paper. I tried to use all the paper in the pack at least once. I think the only one I didn't use was the one with the it's kind of like a vintagey looking piece. It seemed like kind of out of place, like it didn't really go with all the glitz of the rest of the papers, and so I didn't use it. And it was actually the very first page in the paper pack. But I'm gonna place down all of my panels onto my card base, and it looked like it just needed something else, so that's why I put this gray strip down. I also straightened out my piece. If you notice, it was kind of crooked, and I just kind of, luckily I was able to pull it off and reposition it and put it back on without destroying the paper. So now I'm going to pop up my center panel, which is just white, and that's going to be where I'm going to place my focal point, which will be my dress. So I'll set that off to the side and put together the dress. Now the dress comes with score lines, and so I don't think it matters which way you do it, because sometimes these dresses, you know, that center piece of the pleat can be either on the outside or the inside. I guess it just depends on how you sew it as to whether or not you're going from top to bottom or bottom to top. So when I put it together, I put it where the center is in the back. You'll see if that makes sense. But you can probably do it opposite of this and have the center sticking out more and have the sides going in. It just depends on how you fold it, but I don't think there's any right or wrong way to do it. You're just basically making pleats. And once you have it all put together, I used my tool there to kind of push everything down because I didn't want it to be super fluffy. And then I just took a piece of the double-sided tape and ran it across the top, because that's where the top part of your dress is going to go. So I'm just going to place the top part of the dress, which I cut out with that, I don't know what to call it, so I'm going to call it chicken wire paper. And I also cut the belt out of the silver mirror cardstock. It's also got some score lines, and if you just kind of pinch it on the score lines and put it to the back, it's a perfect fit. I cut out the hanger with that same cardstock, the silver. which I will attach later. First, I'm going to put the belt on. So this is just some white cardstock, and it's kind of like a flowery white, and it's just some extra from my stash. But I wanted something that was a little more um, feminine, I guess, than the white. Plus, I was using the white cardstock as my panels so I didn't want to waste it by using it for bows and whatnot. So now I'm just going to start putting my focal point together. And I haven't adhered down the dress yet because I'm going to figure out where my sentiment is going to go. So I took pretty much almost all the words on the stamp set, and I used some silver embossing powder, and then I backed them on that same gray cardstock that has the strip in the background, and then I cut them out. And now I'm just trying to figure out where I'm going to put them. And it says you are, let's see, beautiful, fabulous, wonderful, and then I have mother and friend because I wasn't sure which one I was going to use, and I chose friend. But you could totally put mother, and then you have a gorgeous Mother's Day card. There's also, I think, Nana is another one, and I can't remember what they all are, but there's plenty of choices for Mother's Day. And then I'm going to use some drops. So basically I just adhered down my sentiment as soon as I figured out where I wanted it to be. Use some drops around the outside just to kind of give it a little bit more glitter, and there is a close-up. So you are a beautiful, fabulous, wonderful friend. For card number 5, I'm going to use the stamp set again, and this is the ballerina that comes on the stamp set. I'm just going to kind of quickly color her in, and I'm using my Copic markers, and again I'm just going to do this super fast because it's 2-color, not a whole lot of blending. There's the body colors that I used for the skin, 00 and E11. For her slippers and the top part of her dress, it's going to be the RV10, and for her cheeks I'm going to use R20. For her hair I'm going to do E25 and E29, and you don't no more than 2 colors is necessary because it's not a very big image, so it's really hard to do a lot of blending. So I just used 2 colors for everything, and then I made my own little concoction here. So these are Stampin' Up. I got a iridescent ice and silver, and I wanted to make my own mix because I didn't have what I thought was a pretty enough sparkly silver. So I used 3 scoops of ice and 1 scoop of silver, and then I shook the bejeebers out of it and made my own embossing powder for the bottom of her dress. This is some real sparkly, pretty pink embossing powder that I got in a Hedgehog Hollow kit, and I don't remember who makes it, and there's nothing on the case on the little container, so I can't tell you. And then this is jade. My stamp platform is giving me troubles, so I'm going to end up just kind of continuing on and heat setting the embossing powder, even though you can see a big chunk of the dress is missing. And then I'm just going to use my stamp block, and I'm going to go over it again and just redo, just going to add it to it. So it's basically embossed twice. I'm going to use the pink for the next layer. This is a 3-layer dress. And if I had to do this over again, I would have stopped right here. I wouldn't have added the blue, well, jade color over the top, because I think right here is perfect. But of course, I wanted to use that 3rd layer, and I didn't want it to be the same color as everything else, so I used the jade. And I thought, oh well, maybe when I heat set it, it'll look okay. I didn't like the way it came out. But once I put the card together, it's fine. It's absolutely adorable, so it's fine. So now I'm going to put my card together, and I'm just going to use, I wanted to use the ballerina paper, and it's a black and white paper that came in the paper pack. Also, again, I'm going to use the chicken wire paper, some silver mirror cardstock, and the pink. And I'm just going to cut a strip out of that pink, and I'm going to layer it right on top of the silver cardstock. I did back the ballerina on a piece of black cardstock, and I put some fun foam behind it because with all of the embossing that I did, it did warp. So once I put it on the black cardstock and the piece of fun foam, it straightened right out, so it's not all warped and funny looking. So now I'm going to cut out my chicken wire paper, put the pink onto the mirror cardstock. And then I'm just going to start putting all of my layers together. And I think that black is real pretty, but it was a little bit too busy not to put something in between it and my ballerina, so that's why everything is kind of layered like this. Plus, I like layers. I don't know, the more the merrier. I'm just going to trim off my edges, pop up my little ballerina in the middle of the paper. And then the little ticket on the side is just one of the little ephemera pieces, and it says "Just Be You" in silver. And I'm just going to place that right there in the corner. And then for some finishing touches, I'm going to add some more of those silver sequins around the outside. When they're real big like that, I kind of try to tuck them under. And that will complete that card. Just close up of this one. And now we're on to card number 6. So another one, basically I took, that one was a circle piece of ephemera with a real pretty saying on it. It says, "There are so many reasons to be happy," but I didn't want it to be a circle. I wanted it to be like that, so I just trimmed it down and then backed it on the gray cardstock. I'm also going to use, obviously I'm doing it, the gray cardstock as my back panel. And then I cut out strips, and I'm going to make some banners out of all these strips. I'll only make you sit through one of my banners. I don't have banner dies, so I just do it the old-fashioned way, which I think is probably easier. Even if I had the dies, I probably would use them. So now I'm just going to kind of evenly space out my 3 banners. That skinnier ones on either side, that's just black and white. I don't know, I'm sure you can see what it is there, but it's just really cute little bows. So I thought that would be nice. And then I'm going to take some of the ephemera pieces. So I'm going to take the little swan, and I popped her up on the fun foam. And then I'm going to kind of fussy cut off one of the leaves because it's not fitting exactly the way I want it to. And then I'm just going to kind of try to figure out where I want to tuck it. It gets better. You can see how I fussy around with stuff. I'm going to pop up the flowers. Sorry about that. My allergies are killing me, and they're making my voice all scratchy, and sorry I sound terrible. Now I'm just kind of tucking some leaves, the other leaves around the outside, trying to figure out where I want to put everything. Then I'm going to add some more of those silver Nouveau drops, and that will complete that card. Simple but really pretty and elegant. For card number 7, I'm going to make a shaker card, and this is another one of the tags that came. So it's not really a tag. I don't know what you call these, but they're cardstock, pretty thick cardstock, and they have pictures on them. I don't know what to call them. I guess you would use them for scrapbooking if you did scrapbooking, or maybe project life cards, I guess, like oversized project life cards. But anyway, I wanted the sentiment off of the project life card because it came as one piece. That's what I was showing you. And it says, "Find your tribe and then love them hard." And so I cut that off the bottom and set it aside. And this is going to be the inside of my shaker, is going to be the little ballerinas. And I just took a piece of black cardstock and one of my stitch rectangle dies and cut out the middle and just made myself a frame. And now I'm going to adhere down my acetate window, which I've already cut down to size. And then I doubled up some foam adhesive and then cut it into thin strips and mounted it around the outside of my frame. I made my own sequin mix right there, just using stuff that I've been collecting over time, and I kind of threw them all together to see if I could find something that would look good. And now you have to look at my head, because I want to make sure I line this up properly, and I can't do that when it's that far in front of me. Sorry about the head. But I'm going to shake it up because I have to. I also took another piece of that same foam that I used and took a thin strip and put it right below the frame, and then put my sentiment right on top of that. And then this is a little ticket, from the ephemera pack with the little ballerina on it, and then inside this month's came this super cute star. If I had noticed the star earlier, I probably would have used it on some of the other cards because I love it. So the inside star pops out if you want it to. Like I didn't want it to, I wanted it to stay the full star for this one, but you'll see in one of my other cards where I pop them out. So you get like an inside star and an outside star. And that will complete that card. For card number 8, this is where I'm going to sneak in a couple of this is the large die of the month. And this one makes the gift card bag holder. I don't know what to call it. And so I'm just showing you all the pieces in what I cut out. I took a piece of, what is that stuff called? I can't think of it right now. Vellum. It is vellum, but it's got like little flowers all over it, so it's kind of pretty vellum. How's that? Pretty vellum. And this is what you would use as your paper, your tissue paper that goes, in the top of your bag. And it's again got score lines on it, and I don't think there's any right or wrong way to do it. You just want to kind of make it, I don't even think you need the score lines. You could just crumple it up whatever way you want. I don't think you have to follow any specific, because actually it was kind of frustrating trying to figure it out. And it goes right into the top of your gift card holder. So you put tape behind that. But before I do that, I want to put together the actual holder so that way I can measure it to the front of my card, because right now it's just a little bit too tall in the condition that it's in. So I want to put together the holder first, and you just cut out 2 pieces, and I just used the cardstock that I wasn't really using from the kit. I didn't really like that apricot color cardstock. It didn't really seem like it went very well with the papers that I was using, so I'm going to use it as the back of my gift card holder because you can't see it, so it's going to be covered up. It's the back side of this, and that's what's going to adhere directly to the card front. So I'm going to use glue because that gives me a couple seconds to put them together, and then this is where the gift card goes, and it just slides inside. So now I'm going to take my card base and kind of position where I think I want it to go, and I think I only need about 1/4 of an inch off of the top, so I'm just going to take my trimmer and cut about 1/4 of an inch off the top, and then add some tape to the back, and that's when you put in your tissue paper, your fake tissue paper, or you know what, you could actually just take real tissue paper and put it in there. It'd be just as cute. And unfortunately this paper looked it has like kind of a yellowish tint to it, so after I put it together I thought this looks dirty almost, but it's not. It's just the color of the tissue paper or the vellum. Now I'm going to slide that inside, and I'm going to start decorating the outside of my bag. Like I said, I wanted to use all the paper, and this blue swan paper seemed to go the best with my idea for the front of my gift card holder. So I wanted to take some of the ephemera pieces and kind of grouped them together, and so I picked the bicycle and the coffee cup and the phone, which have absolutely probably nothing to do with each other, but we all ride bikes, drink coffee, and talk on the phone at the same time, so I decided they were going to go together. And I adhered the telephone directly to the back, popped up the coffee cup and the bicycle, and took the sentiment from that's the puffy sticker, and it says "Live a Happy Life." And I put it kind of right over the top of the bicycle. And this is supposed to have a handle because it's a gift bag, but I didn't cut out the handle, so I put a couple of the little puffy pink heart stars where the gift bag, where the handle would have gone normally, and that will complete that card. Here's a little close-up of that one. And now on to card number 9. This is the small die of the month, and if you want to pause it here, you can see what I think each one of the dies goes together. There isn't, as of right now, I don't see a lot of videos showing you exactly what pieces go with what, so I'm going to kind of put together one of them real fast and just to show you what it looks like. And here's what it looks like all together, and the rest of it, here's the end. I didn't think you need to sit through all of it, because if you paused it where it was, you could see which pieces go with which, and then you just cut everything out and adhere them together. And now I'm going to put together my card. Again, I'm going to use the black and white bows, the mirrored cardstock, and this one I kind of wanted to be kind of like an elegant looking card. So I cut out the hello from the mirrored cardstock, and I think I cut out 3 of them, so it's kind of a thicker sentiment. And then took all of my flowers, and now I'm just going to make a little arrangement around the frame of my card. Some of them I am popping up, some of them I'm kind of tucking behind, as you can see. And I ended up not using all of the flowers that I made. Some of them, it would have been too many, so I didn't add all of them. But these little buds are so delicate and just so pretty, but a little bit fussy to put together. So if you have this kit and you haven't started playing with it yet, just give yourself some extra time to put together the flowers, because they do take a little bit of time to get together. And a pair of those reverse tweezers are your best friend. Just going to finish up putting the last of my stuff on there, add my sentiment. I also put some of the silver drops around it, which you'll see better in the close-up. There it is. And for card number 10, I'm going to use this die, which I had in my stash. I thought this was a good time to use it, and that dress fit onto my little mannequin there, or dress form. So I already put the dress together because you've already seen me put a dress together, and I just used the white cardstock from my stash that I had from before, and it actually has kind of like a delicate flowery floral embossed pattern on it, so the dress looks very pretty. I also cut out the sentiment "You are magical," and then I glued it down to some black cardstock, and I kind of gave it like a shadow, so I fussy cut out a shadow behind the "You are magical." I'm going to adhere down all my panels. I'm just kind of offset that center piece a little bit. I'm going to attach my dress to my dress form, and then I'm going to pop the whole dress form up, which took quite some time to make all the little pieces on the back. I'm going to add some drops as like a little necklace on the dress form, but I ended up changing that at the end. I ended up putting crystals on there because it just didn't look right to me. And these are the stars where I ended up popping out the center of them this time and using them, both the centers and the outside. I'm just going to place those around, and that's going to complete that card. And in the close-up, you'll see I used gems for the necklace. I replaced the drops. And that is the end of that. So here's another, we'll just do a quick look through all 10 cards. I think they all came out really pretty, and I love this kit. I think they did an excellent job this month. Last month was a little hard for me, but this month I got this done so fast. Unfortunately, it took me a little bit longer to edit it because I had to go to work this week, so I finally got a chance to edit it today, and I'll get it up for you. You should be seeing this on Saturday. And I really do appreciate you guys stopping by. I totally appreciate it. Leave me some comments below. And right after this, I'm going to show you, I've been putting up some of my cards in the Etsy shop, so I will have that linked below. There's a sale going on this month. The code is April. I'll also leave that in the thing below. So you just type in April, you get 20% off. Each one of these card packs has 5 cards in it, and they're all from the videos that you've seen, so you know how I put them together. And each one of these packs is only $15, so with shipping and everything, you're still paying like less than, I think you're paying like $3 a card for these, and you're going to get 20% off. So if you head over to my Etsy shop, which will be linked in the bottom, I really do appreciate it. Help me restock my supplies, and I will see you again real soon for the next video, which should be, it's either going to be another 10 card video or my May design team project. I'm not sure which thing I'm going to have time for. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.